Good evening, Facebook Live viewers. I'm Rebecca Sosmarsky with the Register Mail, and I am here today with Deb Moreno, the project coordinator for Galesburg on Track, the Community Heart and Soul project for Galesburg, Illinois. And Deb, tonight the City Council just formally approved the 8 Heart and Soul value statements. Is that correct?
That is correct.
How does it feel to have them all done?
It feels fantastic. Our goal was to have this done in 2 years, and we are exactly at the 2-year mark right now.
Wow, that's awesome. Can you kind of explain for the community just so they know, because they started putting the drafts of the value statements back in the summit in March, right?
That's right.
How did the process go from there in terms of the vetting of the statements and choosing the final
Once the statements were developed in April, and that was after the summit, our leadership team went into the community really deeply and asked people, what do you think? Did we get this right? Does this sound like our community? And we received really strong reaction that yes, these were the values that people espoused and embraced.
Very cool. And as you were going through and kind of vetting them, what were some of the comments that people made in terms of like some of the value statements? Like I know we had like, we value quality education, we value history and cultural heritage. What were some ideas you heard?
Yes, people value those things. They value a welcoming community, whether that is the way it feels right now or it's something that we aspire to. They value our town's image. They want our Main Street corridors to look beautiful and welcoming to visitors. They want to feel pride in their shopping community, and they want a vibrant economic life in Galesburg. So those are some of the things that people talked about.
Awesome. And have you talked with the council as to how that they'll incorporate these statements going forward into policy?
I haven't talked to them personally, but they have known about this process and have been involved in it themselves. And so the council will be one really important decision-making body that uses the value statements, but we as a leadership team are now going to go into the community deeply and talk to other stakeholders so that this is a true collaborative community kind of project where we all are thinking about the value statements and eventually the action plan at the same time.
Yeah, and speaking of the action plan, Heart and Soul had focus groups, right, to think of action ideas or ways to incorporate the value statements?
And we're going to unveil the action plan sometime in February. We're working on that hard. We're almost there, and we're really excited about that.
Great. What were some of the action ideas that people have had that you guys are going through right now and sifting through for the action plan?
There are many ideas. Some of them are really pragmatic, and others are big dream kind of ideas. So they all somehow attach to the values, the education, our history. People talked a lot about the Ferris wheel and perhaps using that as a way to talk more about our community. Education continues to be a really important part of what people get from this community. So we're going to be speaking with the superintendent, sharing some of our ideas with him so that perhaps he can use these ideas and share them with his principals and the teachers, and we're all going to work together to talk about how we can make our community stronger and better and people can feel pride.
That's great. And my last question for you, Deb, is about after the plan is presented in February,
Yes.
There's going to be a stewardship team that kind of enforces the plan throughout the years, right?
Yes.
And do you know what that stewardship team is going to look like right now, or what its focus is going to be in terms of helping implement the plan?
Well, it'll be a natural transition. I think my guess is that many people who are on the leadership team will naturally flow into the stewardship team just because they're really dedicated and passionate to this project. But anybody in the community is welcome to join the stewardship team. We do anticipate there will be new people to participate at a level that's comfortable for them. And it's not really so much an enforcement committee, it's more of a committee that continues to create deep connections, listen to people, work through this process that we have already seen is really successful. So it's a way to kind of perpetuate that process into the long-term future.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much, Deb, for
Thank
taking
you.
some time tonight. You're welcome. And thank you, Facebook Live viewers.